From the moment we wake up, we're surrounded by messages promising transformation. We're told that with enough effort, the right hacks, and a relentless drive, we can become a better version of ourselves, more efficient, more disciplined, more worthy. The world urges us to optimize every second, to squeeze more productivity out of each day, and to never settle for who we are right now. So we buy in. We download the latest productivity apps, set our alarms for earlier and earlier, and fill our calendars with routines and rituals. We chase happiness as if it's a destination just over the next hill, convinced that if we just work a little harder, we'll finally arrive. But what if this relentless pursuit isn't leading us to joy, but quietly making us miserable? What if, instead of feeling fulfilled, we find ourselves alone at night, wondering why we still feel empty despite all our efforts? It's less a journey and more a frantic treadmill, running in place, exhausted, the finish line never closer. No matter how fast we go or how hard we push, we're stuck in a loop, always striving but never arriving. Every moment becomes an opportunity for growth, and any minute not spent improving feels wasted. We measure our days in checklists and milestones, haunted by the fear that we're falling behind. The pressure is immense, a constant hum of anxiety whispering that we're not enough. It's a weight that sits on our shoulders, growing heavier with every new goal we set and every perceived failure. We're told our value is conditional, something to be earned through relentless self-optimization. The world measures us by our output, our achievements, our ability to keep up with the never-ending demands of self-improvement. We see ourselves as projects to be managed, always lacking, always striving. Our reflection becomes a checklist of flaws to fix, rather than a person to accept and love. The truth? This race is unwinnable by design. Achieve one goal and another appears. The finish line keeps moving, always just out of reach, ensuring we never feel complete. The system thrives on our belief that we're fundamentally lacking, keeping us on the treadmill, forever chasing a version of ourselves just out of reach. It's a cycle that feeds on our insecurities, convincing us that we're only as good as our latest accomplishment. Social media amplifies this pressure, bombarding us with highlight reels of other people's achievements. We compare our behind the scenes to everyone else's best moments, fueling the sense that we're always falling short. But what if we paused and asked, what if we are already whole? What if the constant striving is distracting us from the simple truth that we are enough, right now, as we are? Imagine letting go of the need to prove yourself. Imagine embracing your imperfections, your quirks, your unique story. What if the goal isn't to become better, but to finally, courageously, be ourselves? Maybe the real transformation comes not from endless self-improvement, but from radical self-acceptance. Maybe the freedom we seek is found in stepping off the treadmill and reclaiming our lives. Maybe it's time to step off the treadmill and rediscover what it means to simply be alive, to savor the present, to find joy in being, not just becoming. The race was never ours to win. The finish line was always an illusion. Perhaps the real victory is choosing to stop running and to finally come home to ourselves. The self-improvement treadmill is hard enough. Now we run it in a stadium of mirrors, our social media feeds. Every day we're surrounded by a digital world that reflects not just our own ambitions, but the carefully crafted images of millions of others. It's as if we're constantly performing, not just for ourselves, but for an invisible audience that's always watching, always judging, always scrolling. We scroll through highlight reels, perfect routines, flawless homes, endless wins, and compare our messy reality to their curated fantasy. Each swipe brings another reminder of what we should be: more productive, more attractive, more successful. The gap between our real lives and these digital illusions can feel like a chasm, making our own achievements seem small and our struggles invisible. Comparison is the thief of joy, and social media hands it the master key. It's easy to forget that behind every perfect post is a real person, with real insecurities and unseen challenges. Yet we measure our worth against their best moments, feeling left behind in a race that no one can truly win. We know these images aren't the whole story, but the illusion is powerful. Even when we remind ourselves that social media is a highlight reel, not a documentary, the constant exposure shapes our expectations and self-image. We start to question if we're doing enough, achieving enough, or even being enough. The pressure to perform, to post our own wins, becomes overwhelming. We find ourselves staging moments, retaking photos, and editing our lives to fit a narrative that isn't always true. The line between sharing and performing blurs, and authenticity gets lost in the pursuit of approval. We start living for approval, curating our lives to look like highlight reels, perpetuating the cycle. The more we chase validation, the more disconnected we become from our own genuine experiences. Our memories become filtered, not just by apps, but by the desire to impress. The anxiety of waiting for likes and comments can overshadow the joy of the moment itself. We start to measure our happiness by numbers on a screen, forgetting that real connection and fulfillment can't be quantified. This isn't a call to abandon technology, but to engage with awareness. Social media can be a tool for inspiration and connection, but only if we use it mindfully. By setting boundaries and being intentional about what we consume and share, we can protect our mental well-being. What we see online is just one frame, not the full picture. Behind every perfect photo is a story we don't see, moments of doubt, frustration, and imperfection that never make it to the feed. Remember, everyone's life is more complicated than it appears on a screen. Celebrate others' progress without using it as a weapon against yourself. Their success doesn't diminish your own worth or journey. There's enough room for everyone to grow, and supporting each other lifts us all higher. Your journey is your own, unique, imperfect, and beautiful. The milestones you reach, no matter how small, are worth celebrating. Growth isn't always visible, and progress doesn't always look like a highlight reel. The only person you should compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. And even then, with compassion. Growth is a process, not a competition. Be gentle with yourself as you navigate your own path. Let's reclaim our joy from the culture of comparison. Let's choose presence over perfection, connection over competition, and authenticity over approval. When we put down our phones and look up, we rediscover the beauty of real life, messy, unpredictable, and full of genuine moments. You are enough, even when your life is unfiltered. True happiness comes from embracing who you are, not who you think you should be. Let your story be real, and let that be enough. Most of us have a graveyard of good intentions, unfinished self-help books, abandoned journals, dusty yoga mats. These objects scattered around our homes are more than just clutter. They're silent witnesses to the moments we promised ourselves change, the nights we swore tomorrow would be different, and the mornings we woke up determined to start fresh. Each one holds a story of hope, a spark of motivation that once burned bright. Each item is a promise we made to ourselves, now a silent reminder of where we feel we've fallen short. They sit quietly, gathering dust, but their presence is loud in our minds, a constant nudge that maybe we're not living up to our own expectations. We start with motivation, but life happens, routines falter, and guilt rushes in. The initial excitement fades as real life interrupts, work deadlines, family needs, unexpected events. Suddenly the habits we hope to build slip through our fingers, replaced by a sense of disappointment. The problem isn't willpower, it's the myth that transformation is linear and perfect. We're told that if we just try hard enough, we'll succeed, but real change is rarely a straight line. It's full of setbacks, detours, and days when we just can't muster the energy. The self-help industry sells quick fixes, rarely acknowledging the messy reality of being human. We're bombarded with promises of overnight transformation, but the truth is, growth is slow, uneven, and deeply personal. No book or app can account for the complexity of our lives. When we stumble, we blame ourselves, not the unrealistic expectations. We internalize the failure, thinking we're the problem, when in reality, the standards we set were never truly attainable. Our graveyard of intentions becomes evidence against us, eroding self-trust. Each unfinished project feels like a mark against our character, making it harder to believe in ourselves the next time we want to try. But these aren't failures, they're experiments. Every attempt, no matter how incomplete, is proof that we cared enough to try. Each effort is a step toward understanding ourselves better, even if the outcome wasn't what we hoped. We tried, we learned, we moved on. Growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress, about showing up for ourselves in small ways again and again. It's time to forgive ourselves for our humanity, to let go of the shame and recognize that being imperfect is part of being alive. We deserve compassion, not criticism. Clear out the graveyard and make space for grace, not more pressure. Let's create room for new beginnings, for gentle restarts, and for the understanding that it's okay to begin again, as many times as we need. Growth is messy, and that's okay. The creative process, the journey of self-improvement, is filled with missteps and surprises. Sometimes, the mess is where the magic happens. You're not broken for having unfinished projects, you're human. Every incomplete effort is a testament to your willingness to try, to dream, to reach for something better. Let's honor the effort, not just the outcome. Celebrate the courage it takes to begin and the resilience it takes to keep going, even when the path is anything but straight. The self-improvement treadmill keeps moving the finish line. Achieve one goal, and a bigger one appears, leaving us perpetually dissatisfied. We're so focused on what's next, we can't appreciate where we are. Our successes feel hollow, always just stepping stones to something else. This mindset makes genuine self-acceptance nearly impossible. We lose touch with our authentic desires, chasing goals we think we should want. True growth isn't about becoming someone else, it's about becoming more fully ourselves. Let's stop sacrificing the present for a hypothetical future and start living now. Exhaustion has become a badge of honor, busyness a status symbol. We boast about packed schedules and sleepless nights, as if rest is a luxury for the unmotivated. Every moment must be optimized, leaving no room for genuine rest. We multitask constantly, forgetting how to simply be. This relentless pace leads not to growth but to burnout, emotional, physical, and mental depletion. We lose passion, energy, and the very resources we need to live well. Rest isn't the enemy of growth. It's essential. True rest restores us, body, mind, and spirit. It's a walk in nature, a quiet cup of tea, a deep conversation, or just sitting in silence. Challenge the narrative that busyness equals worth. Give yourself permission to rest, not as a reward, but as a right. A wholehearted life begins with rest. The pursuit of self-improvement isn't just mental, it takes a real physical toll. Our bodies aren't machines, they need balance and care. Chronic striving floods us with stress hormones, damaging our health. Sleep is sacrificed, seen as an inconvenience, leading to exhaustion and illness. We obsess over diets and exercise, losing joy and connection with our bodies. In chasing perfection, we miss life's simple pleasures. A meal with friends, a walk in nature, a moment of laughter. True well-being isn't about perfection, it's about nourishing your whole self. Listen to your body's wisdom. Let presence and pleasure be part of your health. The self-improvement industry is just that, an industry profiting from our insecurities. We spend on coaches, gadgets, courses, each promising to finally fix us. The cost isn't just money, it's time and energy we could spend on what truly matters. We fall into the sunk cost trap, doubling down even when it makes us miserable. The industry keeps us chasing new levels, new fixes, new flaws to correct. It's time to audit the real cost of our efforts. Are these investments bringing joy and peace or just more stress? Sometimes the bravest act is to unsubscribe. Reclaim your resources for what truly nourishes you. You don't need another guru to be whole. The focus on self-improvement can leave us disconnected from others. Relationships become obstacles to our goals or mere transactions. We miss out on spontaneous joy, present but mentally elsewhere. Vulnerability feels risky. We hide our struggles to maintain the image of constant progress. We become amateur life coaches to loved ones, when what they need is empathy, not advice. True connection isn't optimized. It's found in messy, unplanned moments. Late-night talks, shared laughter, quiet comfort. These build a rich life. If self-improvement costs us connection, it's time to question our priorities. We're wired for connection. That's where real growth happens. Don't trade authenticity for achievement. In a world demanding more, the bravest act is believing you are already enough. This truth doesn't sell books or courses, but it's the foundation of a wholehearted life. Self-acceptance means you're worthy of love and joy right now, as you are. Growth isn't about fixing what's broken, but nurturing what's already good. Learn and evolve from curiosity and love, not shame. The what may look the same, but the why changes everything. Embrace your imperfections as proof of your humanity. Offer yourself the grace you'd give a friend. The goal isn't perfection, it's being real. When you know you're enough, the pressure lifts. You're free to be messy, make mistakes, and live fully. Stop striving to be worthy. Start living from worthiness. That changes everything. The invitation is simple. Step off the treadmill. Pause, breathe, and give yourself permission to stop running. Start with small acts. Sleep in, read for fun, reclaim your time. Shift from achievement to well-being. Choose practices that nourish, not punish. Embrace imperfection as part of being human. Celebrate small wins. Forgive missteps. Honor your unique pace. Find joy in ordinary moments. The warmth of coffee, the sound of rain, a shared smile. Vow to rest when tired. Be kind to yourself. and disconnect from voices that say you're not enough. Step off the treadmill, feel the ground beneath your feet, notice the beauty already here, in the world and within you. You are not a project to fix, but a person to love. You are, and have always been, enough. Welcome home to yourself.